They say ignorance is bliss. But what if the truth is far more terrifying than anything you could imagine? The world is a stage, and we are merely pawns in their game. They control the narrative, and they manipulate your thoughts. They watch your every move. But who are they? The ones who lurk in the shadows. The ones who pull the strings. The ones who feast on your fear. Are you ready to break free?
All right, truth seekers. All right, so we are ready. Truth seekers, what's going on? I had to get the mic there. But anyway, it is Wednesday, and I want to welcome each and one of you here. Like you say, we know we're going to be here. And I want to welcome you to Truth versus Authority. All right, so again, we got a great show for you here tonight, and we're going to get right into it. And I'm sure those who may be coming late, they will begin to know that I'm going to start on time at 8 o'clock. So for those of you here, then I want to appreciate you being here. So tonight we got a good show. We're going to talk about those Oreo cookies and some things that I think people need to pay a close attention to. As you know, we talk about symbols and symbolism here and a little demonstria when it comes down to numbers. But the most thing is the mantra of truth versus authority. Oftentimes, I think people don't know that authorities can be an illusion and truth is the reality. And so our goal this year and beyond is to begin to get people to recognize that authority is not all. And I'm not saying there's not some good authority, but there is some bad authority out there, and that truth is the authority. So by giving you the knowledge, the tools to see beyond this illusion that they have created, I think you will then have a different perspective when it comes down to this world that we are in. So real quickly, I'll give a couple of quick announcements here, and as well as we got people in the chat already. So thank you guys for being here. Our Philly Cat and our, let's see, any other moderators are here right now. Okay, we're going to make a few of you new mods coming up. So if you want to be a mod, I know Maya, I'm going to make you a mod tonight, and there'll be a couple of other ones that I'm going to make a mod. So if you want to be moderators and you know you can be here to moderate, I'll appreciate it. So real quickly, as most people don't know or will know or should know by now, like I said, we're going to be here Monday through Friday. So make sure that you subscribe and set those alerts. If you're here for the first time, set those alerts because I'm going to upload videos and also as we go live. This particular Friday, we're going to have Brother Joseph here from New Life Tools. We're going to be talking about magic in the symbols and sigils and really giving you some perspectives, even money magic. Yes, there's such thing called money magic, and maybe he will hint on that a little bit. If you have not gotten a copy, it's up. The website is up. It is the Shadows of Deception. You definitely want to go there, get you a copy of this, download it. I took the time to do a compilation of all the Shadows of Deception that we have. This thing is 100 and some pages, and it will take you from ufology all the way to reptilian secret societies. Each one of these is easy to reach, each page, because there's a lot of them out there. So if we want to bring you to speed or up to date in 2025 of the past and the present, then I suggest that you go and get your copy. And once again, it is this right here. And of course, the intro for that will be this particular video.
They say ignorance is bliss. But what if the truth is far more terrifying than anything you could imagine? The world is a stage, and we are merely pawns in their game. They control the narrative, and they manipulate your thoughts. They watch your every move. But who are they? The ones who lurk in the shadows. The ones who pull the strings. The ones who feast on your fear. Are you ready to break free?
All right, so there you go. Shadows of Deception. It is up now. Go to the website. Make sure you get your copy of it. And then let me know what you think, because you're going to like it. It's going to bring you up to speed to a lot of information when it comes down to this everything. Yeah, from lizard people to you name it is in there. All right, so we're going to get right down into our conversation. And I'm real excited about this one. And I do have kind of a presentation a little bit, but we're going to go into a lot of deep conversation. We're going to be here just a little while because to break down this one, we're going to hit some area. Now, what I'm about to tell you is and show you is, for me, learning symbols and symbolism and understanding the elites, the power, these people that's behind everything, and what lengths they will go through to create their authority, to create power, their wealth, and all of these things. Some of the most simplest things that we won't even think about is definitely driving us. And one in particular that I recognize, and you've probably seen some stuff about it, but if you hadn't, we're going to go deep into the Oreo cookie. And people like, Roderick, the Oreo cookie. I even saw the first chat in here. Oh, Oreos. Oh, I'm unsubbing. Get out, whoever you are, unsub, go away, because it is you who falls victim to some of this crazy stuff out there, because you're not even open to just to see what else is out there. And people, stay away from those type of people. If you're in a relationship with those type of people, you know what? Try to work it out and get them to, or allow them to get the time to become more open, because the worst thing out there is somebody who thinks something is true all their lives and being given enough information that is not true, and they cannot adapt. And the same thing, somebody that all their lives something that's not true, and they've been given enough information that all of a sudden it is true, and they can't make the change in their mind. I've been with relationships with someone thought like that. It is a very, very in some cases, a dangerous situation when it comes down to growth and to really make it through this world. So be real careful with that. But if you do have that situation, be patient and give people time, because when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. Just know that. But either way, I'm telling you, it is something to be careful with. All right, so we're going to get into what I call the Oreo cookie. All right, and this is the world's favorite cookie, but we're going to explore the exoteric and esoteric truths about it. Now, you can take a look at this thing, and if you really have never paid attention to it, tonight you're going to take a look at this thing. You're going to get a better perspective of what's happening right in plain sight when it comes down to what we're doing and everything else. As always, give me a mic check. I see someone saying they're having some issues with buffering. We're all clear on this side. If everyone else is okay, give me some thumbs up and I'll continue. And I don't need to do any. I know the audio is good. I checked it before we got on and everything else. But let's go from there. So anyway, give me some thumbs up if everything is good, okay? Or all good. I see Nick says it's all good. Appreciate it. Loud and clear with Philly Cat. All right. Kendall says up and ready. All right. So audio's golden. All right. So let's get going. We got our ghost clothes. I'm still trying to pronounce today. Is in the house tonight as well. All right. So here we go. I'm going to put this back on the screen. The Oreo cookie. All right. Real quickly, I'm going to give you a quick background. It's one of the world's most iconic cookies out there. Over 40 billion Oreos are produced annually. 40 billion. And available in more than 100 countries, spanning decades of popularity, and is recognized by this black and white design and universal love, twist, lick, dunk ritual. Let me say that again. It's universal, twist, lick, dunk rituals. How many of you have done that? How many of you have done the Oreo cookie ritual? Put it in some milk, dip it, dump it. I mean, put it in the chat. Let me know. We need some honesty here tonight. I have. I've done it many times. I'm probably still carrying some Oreo, whatever, somewhere in one of these arms. I don't know. But how many of you done that before, where you've done the ritual? You know, maybe it's that night, you know, you sitting there watching some movies and you're doing the Oreo ritual. All right. So if you have, okay, Luck says I have. Caressa said I have. Not me, too much on chocolate. Gosco said, yeah, he have. So you know what? That's fine. But some of you have. So as we go into the next part of this, you know, you want to think of the nostalgia of this, and then you think back to the first time you ever opened an Oreo cookie. Was it fun? Was it twisting it apart? Was it satisfying licking that cream, right? A lot of us done that. Or highlight the emotion connections. That's what I'm doing here. I want you to think about this before we go further. What How did you feel looking at Oreo cookie, twisting it, dunking it, all of these things? Just really think about from your childhood memories, because it's been around a long time, okay? And the joy and the times, and when did the Oreo cookies come? When mom went out and got them, or we're going to have movie night, get the Oreos and milk out, or Oreo and ice cream. You get what I'm saying? This thing has some good stuff to it. All right, so and when we think about symbols in everyday, we're loaded with symbols that people take for granted. So we're talking logos, the colors, the designs. We can talk about Nike. You can talk about Apple's bidding Apple. So we're going to talk about that one of these days. All of these things resonates on a deeper level when it comes down to consumers. And before I go any further, let me give you an alert. The goal is this. We're going to learn about all of these esoteric powers and things that some are using for bad and good reason, good intentions, but they're gaining wealth, power, influence, and really, but what if we began to learn these things? And I'm working on the back scenes with some people. We're going to put together programs and things where you can learn, not only take some of these sacred geometry, take some of these intentional esoteric knowledge, place it in within your own life, your businesses, all of these things, so that you now harness that power, but you're going to do good with it. Not all of them are doing good, but some doing bad. We're going to do that. So I hope you follow along, because I'm going to present to you, not now, maybe some weeks to come, how you're going to be able to do that. I do it. I know people is doing it. When Friday, when we talk to Brother Joseph, you're going to hear all of this stuff. So if you down with that, make sure you follow along with what we got going on here. All right, so Oreo design is no different. At first glance, it's a playful cookie, but the symbols can often carry hidden messages. And for that, we're going to get down into this information tonight and pretty much. And so Oreo is going to have what I call, let me put it, my next slide up here and there. All right, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to give you some background with this cookie. I want you to take a look at it right now. And one of the things we're talking about here is the symbol of power and mystery. This is going to get beyond some people, because they're going to be like, okay, what are we talking about here? But I want you to take a close look at what you see or what's going on there once we do that. So let me get my notes out for you so you can kind of see, look a little deeper there. All right, so look at this design. Okay, at first glance, again, is decorative, but it also has center patterns resembling the cross and the double horizontal bars, which this is really what they call the Cross of Lorraine. Now, we're going to get through all of that. So y'all look at this. It is heavily symbolized, this cookie is, okay? It really is. All right, so that cross that you see right there is the Cross of Lorraine. I want you to know, and it comes from the history of the Knights Templar. So if you ever heard of the Knights Templar, you already know that there are secret medieval order that was tied back to hidden knowledge and sacred geometry. The duality of this thing represent the balance between heaven and earth, spirit and matter. And they also had a resistance and authority. So back in World War II, as the symbol of the Free French forces, but rooted into esoteric tradition. So I want you to compare the Oreo's center thing there, and I'm going to back up for a minute. You should see that symbol right there in the middle of this Oreo. Now, make no mistake about it. It's not happenstance. You don't print up a cookie to look like something that is not. So I want you to now open up your eyes today. And as you always hear me say, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. Open up your eyes today, and I want you to be open to interpretation of what you see. All right, so here's the deal. That thing that is in the middle of this cookie. Look at this. Once again, over to your right, we're talking about the Oreo's resemblance to the modern interpretation, but once again, these are themes that go all the way back to the Knights Templar and everything else. And if you don't think, now again, look at it. But here's the deal. It even goes a little deeper. This is real. Look at the church here, the Cross of Lorraine. Look at those people marching. They got the Cross of Lorraine. That is on that Oreo cookie. Okay. So tell me if you see it. If you see it, you see what I'm talking about, put it in the chat, because I want to know if I'm just up here by myself capping. But let me know if you see it. Let me know if you see what I just showed you. I'll put it back up right there, the Cross of Lorraine. So we're going to start there first. Do you all see that embedded in this cookie? Yes or no? Okay, y'all let me know. Okay, so are we going there? Come on, give me some. Okay, somebody says, I see it clearly. Okay, good. So we're getting there. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so now we're going to go deeper, though, because there's other things about this when it comes down to this. But if you're seeing it, there we go. And yeah, all right, so y'all got it. Okay, we're getting it now. All right. So the next thing we're going to go into alchemy. How many of you know what alchemy is? And you don't. I want you to go look that up and understand what alchemy is, okay? And what is it used for, or what does it mean, from mysticism to all of that stuff, because this is really important that we're going to get into next, is the alchemy of this cookie. All right. And again, this is in plain sight. This cookie is everywhere. And you think about it, it's a globe. Remember, we talked about the shell company and the global presence. So all of these things that I'm showing you have global presence, and they date all the way back to ancient civilizations. Like, again, this cookie goes all the way back to the Knights Templar. So once again, we're going to look at the alchemy of this cookie, and I'll get down into it in just a second here. Now, it has double concentric rings. If you see it on the right, we're looking at the image on the right. Alchemy is always about the two circles, or the two whatever. So it's using alchemy representing what they call unity, wholeness, and eternity. Now, when you think about it, and as I want you to know, alchemy also stands for as of above and so below, right? Are y'all familiar with that, right? That is one of the main terms that they talk about, is as above, so below. So are y'all familiar with that? Let me know as we go through the chat, because this is interactive. I may even bring some of you up tonight. We're going to talk about the Oreo cookie. So if you get your cameras and stuff ready, you want to come on, I'll bring you up on the screen in 30 minutes or so. But once again, are you all understanding that, or the term as above, so below? Okay. Now, let me tell you where it goes with this Oreo cookie. The Oreo cookie with the white center and the other side of that Oreo is identical. As above, so below. You can flip it over, and it's going to be as above, so below. Now, you should be gathering this interpretation, because I just showed you the Cross of Lorraine. We just talked about the alchemy inner circle. So this won't be far-fetched to know that this is in a process. So when you flip that cookie over, as above, so below, and then the cream center, or what's in the center. So those are the things. And we're going to get to it. Yes, those dots are coded, and so within, someone says. Okay, so could the Oreo, okay, so let me back up for a minute. A visual metaphor for this principle, as above, so below, the ideal of microcosms reflect macrocosm. Now, found in ancient depictions of Philosopher's Stone, the ultimate symbol of enlightenment. Now, that doesn't mean that this is a bad cookie, but okay, millions of people eat them all the time, making them rich could turn out bad. Now, could the Oreo ring symbolize something greater, a hidden message about balance, transformation, encoded into the world's favorite snack? All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Here is where we get really interesting when you want to think about alchemy and the zodiac. That Oreo cookie has the zodiac sign sitting right there with the gateway to heaven through the doorway of that cross. Count those little dots up there, the inner dots, count them. It's 12 of them. It's 12 zodiacs. They don't make this stuff up, people. And then in the middle, you got the sun, and the lowering the cross. Take a look at it. Let me know if you're seeing what I'm talking about here. If you're understanding that they just don't make this stuff up. They're not making it up. All right. So think about the 12 dots surrounding this Oreo cookie hold a deeper meaning in sacred geometry. 12 often symbolize completion or cosmic order. Okay. So you want to think about the zodiac months of the year tied to the idea of universal cycles, reinforcing harmony and balance. The number 12 is no stranger to mystical traditions and appears in alchemy texts. All right. So I just want to know, did y'all see where I'm going? Okay. So, and we got more. There's more. I'm going to open up some more to you. But do you see what I'm talking about? And this is why symbolism is so important. Once I start diving deep into this, and people laugh. Oh, you not laugh. Some people do. It's a great idea. You want to call yourself the symbolizer? I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going in deep. It was always fascinating, but it's in plain sight. We're eating this stuff. We're doing these things, but it is powerful and it works, and are operating off our subconscious. All right. And so those are things that we have to pretty much from there. But anyway, back to that power of 12, you should be able to be looking at the zodiac sign. You can sit there and count them right there if you want to, and make sure that you got it. So again, you see the circle in the middle, that's your sun, and you see the zodiac, and you saw the cross, the alchemy circles, the Cross of Lorraine from the Knights of Templar, and as you know, where are we going with that? Now, the Oreo cookie also, the design appear very simple, but yet it mirrors the symbols tied to secret society, mysticism, alchemy. Most people don't constantly notice these, but the meanings can influence the subconscious. Now, could the question be, does Oreo be embedding esoteric knowledge in popular culture? My belief, yes. If symbols like these are hidden in everyday object, what we might be consuming and we don't know. And I think that's something where we are when it comes down to truth versus authority. This is a rebellion year, okay? I'm putting together a rebellion. I'm putting together a movement, okay, when you start coming here. In fact, I'm looking for 10 people, well, now 7 people that want to be part of this rebellion. Now, what I'm getting ready to say coming out my mouth, you need to hear it. If you're one of those people, I have access, and there's a few of us on this planet that have access to hidden esoteric information, as well as stuff all over this world of people. Okay, thousands and thousands of stuff, and it was actually brought to a few of us in a private, very sector, and it was all about preparing people for 2025. And I'm looking for 8 more truth seekers. Now, this is people who's going to be doing podcasting, or we got to get the word out there, or people want to do. Now, there will be an investment of knowledge, okay, because it costs us all, but you can't even go through the stuff that I have, 20,000s and thousands and of files and information, and none of us could. But together, as a collective, we can go in there. Everything from what really happened to 9/11, chemtrails, the court cases, people and sitting there in front of the judge, the scientists telling judges that this stuff is about, and they won't show it on TV. It was filmed, but they won't show. That's just little stuff. We're talking all the way from occult. Anyway, if you're interested in becoming one of those people, like I said, don't call just to be. It's an investment, all right. But don't waste the time there. But if you know as you're calling and you really ready, hit the, contact me at contact@whythebigsecret.com. So that's the email address. So let's continue on our quest here of what we're doing. We talk about rituals. Okay, let me bring that back down. Every type of occult, which occult is hidden knowledge, so you know this, but every type of, and we've heard it through Puff Daddies to all of these, they all have these rituals, because ritual is an important part to make things happen. As we are meditating, as we do whatever, some of you do a ritual before you go to bed, or you may wash your body a certain way. You may put on your makeup through this ritual and cleanse your body. Everybody goes through a ritual, okay? And this is what I'm talking about. Oreo have mentally put a ritual together that people do. The twist, lick, dunk is a modern ritual. So let me go ahead and explain and break that down. I'm glad you asked. Rituals are so powerful for focus and transformation, but in alchemy, the physical process is like mixing or separating elements and symbolize spiritual change. The Oreo eating ritual mirrors, okay, so I'm only telling you a ritual that it mirrors, because I want you to look it up for yourself, but I believe that it is what it is, okay? So the Oreo ritual that you're taught, the twist is the separation of elements, duality, okay? So they want you to twist it. The lick is the consumption of essence, your spiritual focus. You're now focusing on this, and the dunk is the immersion or the transformation. And so the theory is, could the Oreo ritual unconsciously connect billions of people to an esoteric practice, okay? A collective act of transformation. And what I'm saying is, yes, Audio saying, hey, man, this stuff worked for real. Y'all get where I'm going with this. So we are doing, what I'm teaching now is, and we're going to do this every week. There's thousands and hundreds of stuff, location stuff. I've been working on this for months, and I'm going to take you to that place, okay? I'm going to take you to those places, but let's go back. A ritual, the Oreo ritual, twist, separation of elements. That's duality. Just look it up. The lick is consumption of essence. That's going to be the spiritual focus. And then you have the dunk in immersive transformation. Now, I want you to be sitting down for what we're going to be getting into in the next few slides, because I want to prepare you for how deep this sugar honey iced tea is, okay? And what we're going to go over in a few more slides, you're not making this up. It's natural law. It's demonstration. It's you can't change it, okay? It is what it is. And for these people, like I showed you with Shell yesterday or Monday, I'm going to prove it to you again with the Oreo, okay? So let's go forward, and we're going to go here. We're going to talk about gematria, okay? And as you know, gematria is the study of letters, numbers, and all of that stuff, okay? So you definitely want to know how you get into that world, okay? So there's a universal code that we're going to talk about here about this Oreo cookie, from ancient carvings to corporate logos to cross circles and crosses, 12 numbers. All of this stuff is done there when we do. Somebody says, I've done all that when I'm eating an Oreo cookie. Oh, you got more. I'm going to give you more, Diane. So hang on to your seats there. So once again, we talked about the cross. Now we're going to get into geometry of this thing, and let's get into the psychology of this. Now, a lot of companies, before we go deeper, use the psychology of symbols. The circles represent unity and eternity. Same thing with my sigil and symbol. The circles for protection and unity. That's why it's there. So you have the numbers, you have everything else. But again, could this cookie mean any more stuff? And let's do it. Make sure y'all like and share this video, okay? Because we need to put our stuff up in this algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do it. All right. So now we're going to get into geometry, not geometry, but gematria, the numbers. And this is the chilling part of the Oreo cookie, okay? This is the chilling part when it gets down to this, all right? Because it gets really real once we begin to understand that, hey, there's another hidden world out here, and we have to really understand it. All right, so let's go down. But anyway, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to get into this side of it? And are you finding any value in what we're going tonight? Because again, this is a community-funded show. If you find any value, please support the show. There's the Cash App there at the bottom. There's a lot of things we're doing here, and I'm dedicating all of my time and resources to you, to us, to our community, because I can go some places that some of you are not aware of. But if I can bridge that for all of you and all of us, and we can make this world a better world, and also for you. And like I said, we planning on taking the power of some of these things and begin to say, okay, now I would have said we're going to be like Robin Hood, stealing from the poor, the rich, and giving to the poor. But we're going to talk about that. I done learned the true nature of that. Robin Hood goes all the way back to the Rockefellers and all of them when they used to rob people in the banks and wear robes and hoods. So I got the facts for you for that. Okay, so we're not going to use that term either, because that is not an ancient but a secret society term, because they're not taken from the rich, given to the poor. They're taken from the poor, given to the rich. We just heard the story wrong. So we're going to get into that someday. So anyway, once again, if you're finding value, I want you to support the show via Cash App, and I'll give you a shout out and a thank you and all of those things. And whatever your value is with that is totally up to you. All right, so let's get back into where we're going to go here with this. All right, so this is important. So gematria ties numbers to spiritual and mystical meanings, okay? Potential numerical connection. Oreo in gematria, does the sum of these letters carry a esoteric significance? We already know the 12 dots, the 2 rings, the 4 layers, the 2 cookies plus the cream could align with a lot of things, balance and divine. And we're going to compare Oreo's number to the zodiac symbols, geometry, and everything else. And the theory that we're going to tackle here is, could the Oreo's number have a modern sigil, a coded influence message? Okay. And so let's look at the idea of that as well. So once again, I thought the Oreo was just a cookie when I was young too. And then the more I explored these symbols, they just started to stand out, and the connection of stories of mysticism and control. And like I said, it just falls by the radar when we now see it, that it's in plain sight and that it is pretty much from there. For our going any further, once again, we talked about the power of 12 as in numbers, the sacred in many mystical traditions, that the zodiac signs, apostles, the month of the year, the cosmic cycles. Oreo's 12 dots, as you can see, align with sacred geometry principles. The 12 represent harmony and order, which is essential to ancient designs. It's found in everything from cathedrals to pyramids, you name it. And so again, could those dots have a universal harmony as well? We're talking about the psychology in this, okay? The psychology is the circles, once again, unity, eternity. The cross is, when you think about psychology, is authority. It is going to evoke spirituality. And then, of course, numbers always invoke harmony and balance. And so when you think about the precision of this design, it is no chips and whatever they did when they decided to make this cookie, they made sure that the precision of this thing came out as accurate as it can be when it is printed up. And of course, once again, embedding emotional responses from the ritual that it does. And so that makes you really wonder, what are we dealing with when we come down to this? Now, we're going to get into a little bit of conspiracy before I show you the caveat on this next slide, okay? Could it be part of a deliberate agenda? We know these designs align with ancient knowledge ties to control, power, and influence. And what if this cookie isn't just a cookie, but a tool, embedding ancient knowledge in the subconscious of billions worldwide? So if you wanted to think on a conspiratorial mindset, you will probably look at, okay, who would do that? So if you go all the way back to the Knights of Templar, who was the guardians, but they was a religious institution, why not embed your principles? Now, we think because I go to church over here, or I don't go to church over there, or I don't do this over here, so they're really not affecting me. But if it's on the subconscious level, how do you know? How do you know it's not working? And of course, we do things ourselves to make sure nobody can invade our acoustic records and all of those things. But if they're that powerful, how do you know it's not working? Because it's subconscious, okay? And to say the least, one of the things to talk about that is pretty much. So we're talking subconsciously, right? And how do you know? So, and do any of you understand when I say subconsciously? Do you understand that things can be in front of you and you don't even know it, and could have been here a while or not? And for example, to make sure that you are not controlled by this Oreo cookie, okay? To make sure that you're not, because I'm showing it to you and now I'm giving it to you and it's going in your subconscious, I also made sure I protected us by putting knowledge in the flower of life. It's on the screen. It's there subconsciously. It's embedded right in front of you. You might can see it in my face a little bit, but it's been here. But I did it purposely because I understand the power of that cookie now that I brought it to your attention and the awareness. So I'm protecting and saying, hey, whoa. Let me make sure. So the flower of life is about knowledge. It is about you gaining that information and the alchemy of it, all of that. So it's protected. Yes, the lotus. But it's right there. If you look closely, you'll see it. It's all over my face. It's all over the screen. But it's done in a subtle way. But I'm making sure that your subconscious is being protected from me now bringing to your attention about this Oreo cookie. Okay. Now I've done it a couple of shows. Some of y'all don't see it, but I do it to protect people. But now I want you to know, because you got to know it happens. They do this in commercials. They flash stuff at us and all of that stuff, man. And it is crazy. So yeah, now listen, you can see it now. You see it, right? Look at that. You see it? Yeah, y'all see it now, right? All right, there you go. I'm gonna go that way. You're there, right? All right. So there you go. So, it's one of those things that that it happens in real time, it happens in real time, but it's about protection. So let's go a little deeper in here again about control. We talked about the shell. Remember, we talked about that Monday. And if you hadn't seen it, go back and take a look. So we talked about the shell, but if you think about it, there's sun worship, but they was all about power. We control energy and power. And like I said, if you in business or thinking about doing a business or branding, we're going that route. Okay. So I may lose some of you, but we're going to go that route where all of us, the ones that are willing, you're going to redesign your branding. You're going to redesign your intentions. You're going to make your power sigil to protect your families and protect yourself. But in business, we're gonna show you how to take these things and incorporate it in your designs, your branding, your whatever, so that you harness the power to get the abundance that you're looking for, but do the right thing with it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's there, it exists, it's there for all of us. It is part of our God-given right to harness the power of ancient symbolism and every person on the planet, especially the knowledge of numbers and letters. All right. So that's fine. And if that's something you want to go with in deeper ways, make sure you pass this around. All right. So let's go back to another part of there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is kind of go into this particular part, and then we're going to go into more of a show. The Oreo. Now, remember yesterday I showed you shell and how in gematria it came back down to the number 26. We're going to teach this next week. So y'all make sure next week everybody get here on time, either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to give you the power of 26, how it is the number, the God number, okay? Everything 26, it breaks down to 26. All right. And Oreo in gematria, just like shell, had a hidden meaning. Remember, I showed you the number shell, and it came back to 26. These people not playing around, but they're also understanding what they do when they name their stuff and they do what they're doing. It is not by happenstance when they do this. Okay. All right. So if you're ready, I'm going to go. It's going to be Wednesday, not Tuesday. I'll stand corrected. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so that's where we are. All right, so let's get down to it. Diane, I was born the 26th of March. Hey, welcome. So All right, let's get down to this. Pay attention to where I'm about to show you right now, okay? The Oreo gematria in English, Oreo, if remember I taught you the math, 26 letters, 26 and the numbers, okay? So when you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever, but if you want to count, every letter is a number. So A is 1, all the way to 26 is Z. This is universal, okay? The Oreo equals 15, the O, the 5, the 18. When you add that together, it comes with a number of 53. This is the English ordinal number, okay? 53, all right? So I just want you to kind of know that where we speak. Let me give you some quick history. When I told y'all when I first started this journey, I did my name, and I was really for a minute afraid to do it because I didn't know what it meant, you know, what was going to, but I knew people used to call me Rod back in the day. And once I found out Roderick, 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 my mom gave me was whatever reason she did. And I need to ask her, you know, I'm going to ask her tonight, right? And it meant German, ruler, king, and all that stuff. I stopped letting people call me Rod because they were changing. We know the power of words, the power of speech, right? So all of you with these nicknames, find out what your name really means and make sure you are called by your name, especially if your parents or grandparents had a special meaning for you. And let me give you a discovery that I made a discovery today. No, last night at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay. So I'm studying. Remember, I told Roderick, I told you when I came back in 8-3, once I started learning gematria, it came to 11. 11 is a master number, a power number. So I felt really good because I was trying to get answers to make sure where I'm about to take us this year and beyond, knowing that there's some secret places. There's things that you can get you in trouble, what people want, and making sure, okay, I'm not worrying about getting millions of views now. Now let's make sure I'm talking to the right people and helping people and doing my part as I'm doing here every day, okay? So last night, I took my full name because I was like, okay, it's Roderick Martin. That's who I am. That's the name. And when I finished doing the exercise that I'll teach you in weeks to come, it all came instead of 83, which is the master number 11, which is my first name, it all came to 100. And if you take 100 down to gematria, it means the one. Okay. I understood my mission, my journey, and everything else as to do what I'm supposed to be doing, why I chose to change the branding for the third time, the truth versus authority, from, you know, why the big secret to high strangeness to this, to because why I feel more comfortable doing what I'm doing instead of just talking about aliens and UFOs all the time. Even though I've been in 11 different TV shows, you know, Ancient Aliens featured on that, hosted a channel on Discovery Plus channel, been on Fox Tubi, been on Amazon Prime. I'm still in 3 different shows there, all over, you know, when it comes down to UFOs and aliens and Bigfoot and the paranormal. But understanding that, hey, some of that I'll put to the side to go to the actual journey. It was so powerful to discover. And there's a lot of you are waiting to be discovered. And once you're doing that and you're getting alignment at what you're doing, like tomorrow is my first day of the detox, which I was supposed to start it last week, but man, it was expensive and searching for the herbs and all those things. Now I want to clear my mind. I want to start all of this and clear my body, because the information that I'm taking in is not only sacred, but at the end of the day, it's going to help a lot of people. All right. So Oreo, is this as innocent as it is, or is it not? Oreo again, but when you break it down, watch with this. This is where we go. Oreo, when you do the Pythagorean of geometry, or and hidden numbers of life, this is the numbers, the hidden codes of life. The O equals 6, or 5 plus 1, which was that 15 that I showed you before, is 6. The E is 5, 9 is 9, becomes 1 and 8, 18 become 9, 0, 6 people. Oreo comes to 26. That again is the God number, or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of stuff from the dollar bill. The 26 is everywhere. Okay. These people understand something that we did not know. And why would they embed it in the cookie? So imagine where else it can be in all these other places. Okay. So I'm saying to you, we're going to learn this stuff. So make sure you share. And if you for this, and if I'm freaking you out, let me know. And again, but if you for learning this stuff, and we're going to go deep, and it'll take us a lot of directions. Put in the chat. Let me know if I got your attention. Let me know if you're down with the program, and we can do what we're doing now, because I think it's important that we should continue to grow with that. And again, let me make a quick announcement so that on Friday, make sure you be here 8:00. Brother Joseph, New Life Tools, is going to be here with me. If you went to his YouTube channel, you will see a lot of stuff that he teaches. The brother's deep. Him and I just really made an incredible bond, and as friends, and also business people, as we're going to do some things. But he's really somebody you want to learn from, and there's not many people out there that teaches you what he's going to be teaching. And I think it's just incredible that we go that route pretty much. So once again, if you in with me, you in with me. Now, because let me check and see. Y'all know how I do the jokes here. All right. So let me go here and give some shout out to people that have supported us through the Cash App here. So I got to do that from there. So let me do this. So we have Mr. Robert Howell. Y'all give him in the podcast. Give him a shout out. Listen. All right. So for Robert, y'all listen. Y'all give him a shout out in the chat, because you see these lights. That one was flickering over there. It's because the light man was on a pole over there about to cut the bills off. And I told him just wait till after the podcast, and then maybe we can pay the light bill and stay on through contributions. I'm not going to say it's more, it's offering time in the sanctuary. We're not a church, but you should understand if I had said that, you might. But anyway, there's nobody out there on the pole, but that's just my humor. But saying, hey, that's how we do keep the lights on. That's how we do what we do. So, but anyway, thank you for your contribution, my brother. And I really appreciate it. If anyone else is going to give tonight will be a good deal. All right. So 26, make sure you go and study that, right? Because it is real. These people are not playing. It's real. It is real stuff, man. And why not that we began to do those things? Philly Cat said, Doc B said he's starting his global cleanse on the 11th. So there you go. People are understanding that. I'm just getting more into what we're doing, because it was symbolism that took me down this path. And from there, I'm like, you know what? Let's do what we're doing. All right. So at this point, 26, that is the magical number. Now I want you to look at this slide. This should bring it home for you. Look at this slide, and I did a comparison for you. There's the cross, which some represented satanic cross, because when you take two symbols, you then change the outcome. So if you remember, we talked about the Cross of Lorraine, but once you come back with that double ombrus, okay, which is the snake, then you add a different meaning to it. So they're saying that that's possible within that Oreo cookie. You have the Mason symbol, which is kind of upside down, which is definitely right at the very bottom. The Mason compass and square is right at the very bottom underneath that Oreo. Okay, so take a close look. It's sitting there. You have the 12 seasons, which is those dots that's around. We talked about the zodiac earlier, the zodiac wheel. Why wouldn't people think that now that you know the number 26, you know all of this, that these people could not possibly knew what they were doing to build a global brand? So let's look at the positive side of this, okay? Let's look at the positive side. Now, if I don't brought something new to you and you don't learn something tonight, please help me, because I need the affirmation. I need the ego stroked a little bit that I'm doing a good job, that I'm bringing to you some knowledge and all of that. That I need it. Because there's nobody in my ear. There's nobody laying next to the pillow saying, you go, boy. I tell myself that. Y'all heard me. Now, I can get my assistant that I did the last week to tell me some good stuff. But at the end of the day, so I work for you. I'm here for you guys, okay? And I'm a servant leader, and I just want to know, am I serving you some information today? Please, to those of you who understand, knows me or whatever, I want to hear from you at some point. And so put it in the chat from there. But as they go with everything, she said, I thought the maiden symbol was, all right, you're definitely bringing some knowledge. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. All right. So these are things that I think people should pay attention to when you're thinking about what you're doing. Now, again, this is that Oreo cookie and all of those stuff and pretty much. And so, all right. So Low Key said, yes, thank you. S. Harris says, keep going. You're doing great. Danielle said, I only eat the white filling. Well, you must missed earlier what that white filling stood for. Okay. But that's cool. It is not a bad thing if you use the power there. Chad says the greatness of Roderick. Thank you. And we all learning something. You willing to share. You're a blessing. Appreciate it, Hans. All right. So again, those are things that I need to hear, because when I get off of here and I go spend hours and we didn't even scratch the surface. I got so much stuff. And that's why I decided, a lot of you know that I didn't do a lot of podcasts. I was like, okay, not podcast, but live streaming for the last few months. I rejuvenated now. I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, we're going Monday, Wednesday. I'm almost willing to go 5 days a week. Okay. And then upload some videos too. As long as y'all watch them, as long as you share them, we got to share the videos and everything else and pretty much. All right. So Christine said, I don't eat that crap. I did. I was an Oreo movie eating some of the gun. You know what I'm saying? And if you came over to watch some TV, then we're Oreo cooking here. You're talking, go to the fair, you get fried Oreos, all of that stuff. You get everything you can think of. Fried Oreos is a big thing here in the Texas Fair. I don't know if you ever had it, but go look at it. Fried Oreos ain't no joke. You got Bluebell Oreo cookie ice cream. I just had some 3 weeks ago. I'm not doing it now, but yeah, Bluebell ice cream and Oreo pies and Oreo cake, Oreo cookies and Oreo is a tradition, but also a ritual, like we said. But what I'm saying is they put power in this. So don't think we was bamboozled. We just didn't know. Don't think that they're using some devil worship things. They're using power of sacred geometry, alchemy. They're using the power of the cosmos, the zodiac, the Christ. They're using all of this to influence their thing to the world. Now, if they're taking the money behind the scenes and building refugees or all this kind of stuff, then I'm sure it's for the good. Well, why don't you learn that stuff? And pretty much, why don't you learn that stuff and do that as well? So we have someone late in the chat because they're just comment on something I said 20 minutes ago, but he was like, don't stop the UFO and alien stuff. So if Karaka, if you're in here, refresh and you'll come up to the live point. We're about 10 minutes ahead of you, but I'm not saying that I'm stopping it. I mean, it's in my UFO aliens in my DNA. But conspiracies, all of those things there. Good thing I get gluten-free, not printed Oreos. Not printed Oreos. Well, hey, whatever you get is what you get. All right. So those are things we're going to continue. Well, anyway, once again, the Oreo symbol appears innocent, but it could be part, like I said, of a more bigger agenda. We talked about the Templar Freemason continuum. See, the Knights of Templar, let me give you some backdrop real quick. The Knights of Templar they fell in 1307, but their knowledge didn't vanish. They supposed to have been the hidden gatekeepers or protectors. It was preserved through secret societies like Freemasons, and there was another one, Rosicrucian or whatever. But these groups have long used symbols to mark their presence and assert their influence. So now that you see that this has Knights of Templar written all over it, or the Cross of Lorraine, or you see now it has even the Umbrius and the double snake head, all of this stuff. in the Freemasons. Somebody just, again, they didn't just say we design in anyway, do it go find any other cookie you have out there. Not one cookie out in this world has a symbols and stuff on it like the Oreo cookie. It's one of a kind. Now, even if you go and if I think the Nabisco logo, I don't remember seeing it, but I gotta remember. But I think Nabisco logo is part of this thing too. It is part of what we need to know. So y'all can look that up. You know, I don't have it here, but look up that Nabisco logo and see if it's part of the process too. I think it's, I'm typing it into the computer here, but somehow, oh, let me turn this thing off. What the heck? I think my batteries done went low on my keyboard. Oh, man. Oh, well, didn't we get lucky today? All right, so my battery on my keyboard is dead, but I got it enough to start the live stream, so we're good enough there. All right, so Oreo's, again, designed, and we talk about the Freemasons' presence, and why would any secret society want to keep themselves out front? Well, it's for a very good reason. They want to keep it going. But as people begin to know, like I said, all these companies, and I think Nabisco and a lot of these companies own these cookie stuff. So they probably said, don't step into our realm and put no signs on your Oreos. All right. And they were like, you ain't doing that. The other tool of this could be a new world order. Okay. And I know we don't like to talk about that, but the global elite allegedly using secret societies to consolidate their power and symbols and everyday items such as subliminal tools to normalize their dominancy. They could say, okay, the next batch of Oreos, we're going to put, we're just going to put a special, thing in it or whatever, who knows? But since everybody's programmed to dunk them and do the ritual, then the ritual may activate what's in the cookie. Who knows? But could they represent a covert signal, a way for the new world order to mark their influence on on the new global culture, and if they can do something as simple as a cookie, what else could they be doing? And we know from the reptilians to all of this stuff is now we're getting to a point where this is real stuff. It's real. It's about as real as it gets, right? Ain't no need for us to be sitting here saying, I don't believe that or whatever. And again, stay away from those people. I'm not saying they got to be conspiracy theorists. They got to be open-minded to a venture or, into something else. And then what about psychologically of control, hidden messages in everyday life? We know branding is more than just marketing and the influence in how we think and how we feel. And I'm going to keep harping this as long. If you got a business and you got branding, think about going back and do subtle things to your branding and watch the power. Watch how your business explode. Watch how all of a sudden how you feeling and how your customers and people are feeling about the great work that you're trying to do. And if you're trying to figure out why you're not noticed or how come people need to use my services or I save lives, I teach them better health or I do this, well, stop getting a logo with a person bending over or doing exercise, holding weights because you're a fitness instructor and go and put this bad boy on your something like that. And all of a sudden people coming in droves. You get what I'm saying? We need to understand the power of what is happening out here in symbolism and symbols and begin to incorporate those things in your daily routine for success and dominancy, but also to embed your philosophy, if it's a good one, on life and people that it can help and save and all those things. And so I'm saying it's that time. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to have private areas for that. We're going to have different things for that and everything else. And so while we're here, it is a quick commercial time, 30 seconds of the new ebook that I have out. So let me put that on the screen for you. This is the download. Let me make sure I stop this banner. But anyway, the Shadows of Deception. It is a great thing for you to have. And here's kind of a little video about it.
They say ignorance is bliss. But what if the truth is far more terrifying than anything you could imagine? The world is a stage, and we are merely pawns in their game. They control the narrative, and they manipulate your thoughts. They watch your every move. But who are they? The ones who lurk in the shadows. The ones who pull the strings. The ones who feast on your fear. Are you ready to break free?
All right, so again, go in there, go up there right now, download it. You won't be disappointed in that. I appreciate it if you do. I figure I try to do what I call reciprocity, give you something for something. If you can't do a open contribution to the store, to the show, at least go get some knowledge, and it is for you to have some knowledge and all those things, because again, at the end of the day, this is what we're here and what we're about. It is up, it's there for you. And for the people who have already gotten in, I've already got some good response, because it's a lot of tidbits of knowledge, about 100 and something pages, but it's an easy read, but some photographs, pictures of all of the biggest deceptions that we have out there. And I think it'll bring you up to speed to when we go into some of these conversations, and you can be in the chat and you'll be like, yeah, I remember that, or I read about that, because we're going to tie all those things together over time. So once again, make sure you check that out and take a look at the website. At least go to the website. It'll give you some context of what's on there, and pretty much from there. All right, so again, Jarrell says, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button. Please do hit that like button so we can get to there. We talked about how circles, crosses, geometry and all of this geometric patterns, how all this stuff is tied to subconscious triggers. So remember that when we see things. My goal is to get you enough information that you can see, you can read, you can hear, you can interpret, to just awaken your curiosity to the possibility that there are some insidious and hidden things going on in plain sight, so that once you start recognizing, you can't unsee them. And when you do unsee it and you're able to recognize it, it will guide you in a different path, and you will begin to laugh, because it's just not going to work on you. It's just not going to work. And to do that, you have to be open to believe that, not what everybody says seeing is believing. Sometimes they can manipulate that, but I always tell it, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. So we got to get your mind open to do that. Again, double rings, the crosses, 12 dots, the spiritual authority, the cosmic balance. All of this is definitely fighting its way through what we're talking about when it comes down to this Oreo cookie. And I don't know how many of you out there do a lot of stuff, but we can get down into a few areas. Now, let me know in the chat if some of you, and I may do it, I may not, I just got to test my system here. If you got a conversation about the Oreo cookie only, nothing else, we're not talking about anything else but this cookie. If you want to add to it, or you got some insight or your thoughts or what you thought before tonight, maybe a testimony of what you learned tonight and now how you feel about it, see about it, what you're going to do, or you're going to go buy some more tonight, I can put a link into the chat and just come up for a second. But like I said, if you're not talking about the Oreo cookie, I'm going to have somebody to just drop the conversation down, because that's what we're going to do. So I want to stay there. If you think you want to come up, put in a chat, and then I'll put a link to share in pretty much. But like I said, if you cannot talk about the topic at all, I don't want no deviation or anything, because I want to keep us on the topic, if y'all understand it. Chad said, why do we lick the cream first in Oreo? Well, again, we talked about it. Make sure you go back and pretty much from there. So with that being said, prepare yourself for a ongoing process of what we're doing. Okay. So those are things that will be good. And as we begin to go down a route of just beautiful stuff here. Okay. And let me put, all right. So I just posted, and the link for any of you, if you click it, I'll see you in the studio, and it'll take me a minute to bring you on board. But again, hey, I want you guys to stay on point and pretty much there for that. All right, Luke says, I never paid attention to the design of that cookie until tonight. Philly Cat said you can find ingredients on the package or online. Testimony, open conversation on wild topics. Yeah. So if you want to do a testimonial, and like I said, we can get up, and the link is there. So it's scrolling. So I need to figure out how we can pin this thing. Let me see about it first. Nope. How is that? Put my own self in timeout. Okay. Well, anyway, that'll be it from there. Hang on a second. What's up, my man?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you, brother.
Okay.
So hang on a minute. Got another one there. All right. What's going on? So you first, Rob, what do you think about this Oreo stuff?
Man, the Oreo cookies, man, that's some deep stuff, Rod.
Yeah.
I'm getting feedback double again, I guess. But anyway, yeah.
Well, we hear you pretty good on this side, so.
Yeah, no, that's some real deep stuff, especially with the 12. I went around and counted all like you showed me with the little signs. It's 12. All even the little slots, they're at 12 also.
Yeah.
Everything is on there is at 12. So that's some deep stuff. And I never realized that. Now that's some deep stuff right there, Rod. That probably tells you why you fell in love with them. I fell in love with them.
There you go. And there you go. And we have Shin on board with us. How you doing? This is the first time. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you, and how did you get here, brother?
Greetings, Roderick. My mistake. I actually watched your show. I've been watching since maybe last year.
Okay.
I'm a truck driver, by the way. You can tell I'm in the truck right now.
All right.
So I was listening to you right before I parked, and you were touching on a lot of things that I've been noticing for quite some time. But I've been one of those people that have always said, "Hey, this guy's kind of off." When you talk about other people, talk about things like this. But the Oreo cookie, I noticed a long time ago. My name is Shin.
All right.
My grandfather wanted to name me Shenandoah. You can imagine what kind of fighting I would have had to do in school coming up with that.
Well, but that was intentional though, for a reason. You might go back to it. You never know. So
Yeah. Yes, I did some research, and in the Medunetta, or the ancient Egypt, as they call it, hieroglyphic, the term Shin is what they actually call the cartouche, which is that circle that surrounds the actual Medunetta writing, or the hieroglyph, as they call it.
Yep.
It is also known as a hedge of protection.
Yes, that's why I have it on here for everybody, for the truth seekers. That circle around all those other symbols and stuff is for protection, and why I put it on the shirts and my hat. And if we're going to go truth seekers, we need to be protected. Even when people don't know, it looks cool, they buy it, but I'm really protecting them. So
yes, and it represents. I've been looking for quite some time. That circle is in nature. Signs and symbols are everywhere. All the signs and symbols are inspired by nature.
Yeah.
Which is also known as netta. So that shows up, just like you said. The crosses are also another symbol of what is called the lotus flower, like you said, the flower of life. And there's 12 of those. As I've been going as a child, I've been going through changes, and I would like to say, kind of close to a medium, but for a different type of experience. You touch on aliens and everything. For me, it's deeper. I think there's more than aliens. But as far as the Oreo and the symbols on it, it is all connected. Like I was saying in chat, it's all connected. These symbols are our original form of communication.
Absolutely.
Before we ever uttered any words, these symbols represent vibration, and that's the original form of communication, even before there was light.
Yes.
So this is all connected. When you learn this language, this original language, everything starts falling into place. Like you said, the harmonious balance, all of that begins to fall into place. And just like our ancestors, you can go anywhere, whether it's in nature, whether it's in technology, and you can be able to decipher and read everything. And you'll know how to navigate, just like you did with the lotus flower. You know how to navigate and protect and do whatever's necessary that you're being guided to. In a way, you're kind of naturally letting that higher consciousness part of yourself be more dominant, as opposed to the worldly influence programmed ego side of ourselves. You know, that's something that we acquire along the way from infancy up to adulthood. We're programmed with that stuff. And that's why I also wrote in the Matrix, in the program known as the Matrix, everything is set against you. You can reprogram yourself if you know what you're dealing with, and if you know your original form of language and what you're really capable of, you know.
And you pointed out
you can program and navigate your way through everything.
Yeah, yes. you point out some good stuff, Shin, because you know I did it jokingly about some months ago. I just did a quick video. People can find it, but I talked about changing this infinite conscious, or this reality that people see, because we are in the reality that is perceived, but you can change it. Now, the problem where most people don't think they can is because it's not happening in real time, you know, or time is not really real, but not in the time that we understand it. But if you do step away from somebody from quite some time and come back into their presence, you may then see that the reality of this person have changed. So for me, I no longer decided a long time ago that I no longer wanted to be this overweight podcaster. But in order to do that, I had to then program it up here in the subconscious world, in our infinite conscious world, to then begin to filter down into this construct that people see, or how we see each other. Because make no mistake about it, we are in something. We could now throw
we definitely in something.
We can throw that shit out the window that it is just it's blossoms and bees. And no, we're in something, people. This is and I don't know, and whoever said they know it all, run away from them, because I don't think only the creator knows it all, right?
Yes,
right.
And so unless they are the walking creators themselves, and we may be, and they may walk among us because we look like them. That is a challenge. So
Terrence Howard.
There you go.
Well,
so
you know,
go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead.
A little bit. Hang on.
Yeah.
I know. Go ahead, Rob, if you want to put in.
Yeah, that was just saying. Maybe you mentioned about some people who may know, like Terrence Howard.
No, I said everything.
But he knows a lot.
Because
maybe not everything.
Still right. Yeah, because what happens is the more you know, the more you begin to know you don't know nothing.
Right.
Yes.
Nothing's
not as bad. Yeah. Nothing is not so bad.
It's not so, there you go. Nothing is not so bad at all.
Right. Yeah. What's going to cause me to do now? Now you're going to cause me. I'm going to go back and look at a lot more stuff now that's hidden. Be looking for hidden stuff now, because now that cookie just blew my mind on that one right there.
Hey,
because he even showed the jet that I'm not going to bring up the drone.
Jet.
In one of the orbs, it had showed one of the jets just like that in one of the orbs.
Well, they're there, and they're not making new stuff up. So they're not making new stuff up, and so that, and then we're not going to get into the details of it, but I'm just going to talk about it. But Rob is also starting his podcast, or he's already started. So what's the name of the channel? Make sure they go and subscribe to
Wide Open Woke Podcast.
And it's Wide Open Woke Podcast. So we definitely want to do that. He's also, remember I asked earlier, it was 10 people that we're trying to put in our inner circle knowledge. He is one of the people who has access to that secret information, all of that stuff. And we can't, and again, don't say anything about it, Rob, but the whole point is 3,500 videos on some of the most sacred stuff out there, 20,000 audios, 20,000 books everywhere. And this is not, and I don't have it online and all that, and I'm not going to put it online at all, but it was this is stuff that, some of the top leaders, only 2 or 3, 4 and secret stuff. But I knew that we needed to get some voices, and there's no way that all of us can go through those files, but I've homed in on stuff. I want to, it's a lot, and he can find, but if we can get enough people together, we can discover things that somebody else didn't know, and again, so he's part of that. So y'all begin to start watching his stuff too, because he'll bring out some stuff from there as well. But
I
again,
would
if you are,
definitely look into that.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
the
would
shout out,
definitely look
Rod.
into that.
yeah, y'all do that. And for those who listening, my email is contact@whythebigsecret.com. It is monetary. We all had to contribute to get access to life-changing forever. I even put a copy of all it's secret stuff. I put, some of the most insidious things that, we just some stuff you can't talk about, but I do have a copy in my safe deposit box. And it's just something that, I just been floored on stuff that we discovered. I'll just give you a hint. Like I said it before, like one throughout me was chemtrails real quickly. And we all talk about it. And I would look upside, it can't be true until I looked into this thing. And there's videos of court after court after court cases where these scientists are standing in front of judges telling them what's up there and how they're doing us, how the lithium and all this is changing. But you will never see the light of day to that stuff. You won't see it. And I'm like, whoa.
Can't believe you're looking at it.
You're looking at it like, when did we have a trial on this that nobody knew about?
You see the date, and you look at the tape and you say, this tape is an old tape.
Yeah, it's like we've been talking about this stuff for quite some time. So
my father was a Vietnam veteran, and he would talk about that. And he would also say that was companies called Dow, I think back then, in DuPont. They were contracted to develop Agent Orange. And when they were over in Vietnam and Cambodia, the same chemtrails were sprayed over there with the Agent Orange. So it's not like they didn't have that technology and weren't using that.
And people think, and I know I done took a detour, but the fog is out there that people are talking about. But you think that, you're just gonna walk on and pass out. But see, they're clever. When they do these stuff, they do real micro injections of this stuff in our bodies. But over time, it's like a cup. It begins to feel as we're getting older and older, but the offsets of that, whether it's, impotency over here or whatever we want to call it, just all of these things that is happening over time. It's like a ship that just turn off course just a little bit, but over a year, it is way off course. And we don't see it. And then you think about generationally, the stuff we passing down to the next generation. So these people don't have no 5-year plans when they do stuff. They don't have no 20-year plan when they put these things together. They have 100-year plans.
Right.
Because they know by the time the third generation comes, you can have forgotten about everything. They can make us forget about everything just by a few generations and everything from there. So, and I say this, and I don't say this lightly. My 2 children, I have 2 daughters. I don't have any grandkids, and I don't think one of them is not planning on having any, and the other, unfortunately, unless they adopt. So my heirs of bloodline is not going anywhere. Okay, and I remember 3 people, and I've said it before, that said, "Hey, this is your last time here." And when I heard it the first time, I was like, "What are you talking about?" Right? And we're talking psychics and stuff, and then I've heard it over and over again. So now I understand what they're talking about because I go deeper into this. So how do I live forever? How do I keep and that is through the books that I'm writing. It's called Biochemical Immortality, through videos, through everything else. So how do I keep my legacy going if it ain't in bloodline? And that don't mean I want to meet somebody and make a new baby today, because I'm still capable of really capable. I am capable. I remember one of the TV shows that we talk about, I just want to carry your seed. I mean, could imagine somebody walk up to me and say, I saw your video, I want to carry your seed. And I'll be like,
Go ahead, Rod.
But that you said something important there. When you think about seed, what is the content of the seed?
There you go.
The content of the seed is actually what is immortal.
Ooh,
I'm telling you,
bringing
man,
a superhero into the world, Rod.
Yeah, and
everything else is a vessel, the container of it.
And you do still put things in place. And I'm saying this, y'all, and I know we're gonna lose a couple of y'all jump off, but I believe when we think about Elon Musk and all these people controlling what they do, I think they came back. They figured it out and said, okay, I'm building an empire now, but I'm going to come back to rule my own stuff 100 years from now. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come back and rule their own stuff.
Yes.
And I think it's something that they're going to do from there. I don't know.
That's some
Yeah.
hot tub time machine stuff right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were aware with if you ever heard of something called Advaita, or it's also known as self-inquiry.
No, I'm looking
that's,
into sub-personalities and some other stuff I'm studying right now. I got a whole rule of stuff there, but
that would touch a lot on what we're talking about today.
well, let's do that. Hit me on my email, because I'm gonna start putting different shows together that takes us in those directions. But I'm gonna get y'all off of here because I'm about to end the show.
Okay.
But I appreciate y'all coming. But yeah, Sheehan, contact at wilderbigsecret.com. Send me your telephone number and I'll text you back mine. We can stay in contact. And Rob, we'll be getting on your show. We're gonna do one. We're gonna promote one of your shows one of these weeks. So you let us know. We might do a show here, and then we all move over to your channel. And
already?
No, you good? No, look, he think he's cut out, but we listening to him.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
We can still hear you. We
Sorry about that, Rod. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. Yes.
There's a delay. Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
This thing got cut out on me.
Okay, so anyway, that was the information. We did take a quick detour, and I promise not to do it, but sometimes you can't help it when you're talking good stuff and good people and everything else, and we would do. But either way, if you hear it, like I said, and you're going to really be here Friday. So let me do the last piece of that. Friday, make sure you come. We're going to be having Brother Joseph there. Brother Joseph, Chief Joseph, and then New Life too. So you do not want to miss this Friday show, pretty much from there and there. All right. So with that being said, it's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, well as a privilege. I'm Roderick Martin, the Symbolizer, and hopefully you learned something tonight and pass it on, like, and share the show. We will see you all on the next one that we will do, and we'll be here Friday, and then we'll come back on following Monday as well to really do some great stuff as well. So hang on, I'm just trying to set my PC for some reason, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Well, there we go. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So that's it. Then I will say good night to you all.
Peace and harmony. I think we're being set up for something very serious and very big by some very powerful secret societies that very well could have extraterrestrial or otherworld intelligence guiding it. I am very fearful for the world we live in because we bought it hook, line, and sinker, and all over the world we have accepted the authority as truth rather than truth as the authority. It is going to require intellect, knowledge, study, and making a stand for the first time not to accept the things which your government gives you, which your religions give you, and which the authorities give you. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have a very big problem with anyone called an authority, because they're always...